bizarre crime that inspired a movie. The unreal story of Yara Gambirasio. One introduction, a crime stranger than fiction. In a quiet Italian village nestled just miles from Milan, a story unfolded that would leave an entire country reeling. A teenage girl disappeared just a steps from home. What followed was a twisting investigation involving thousands of suspects, a secret family tree, mistaken arrests, and ultimately a discovery so shocking it inspired a feature film. This isn't the plot of a thriller, it's real. This documentary explores the haunting case of Yara Gambirasio, a tragedy that gripped Italy for nearly half a decade. A case so tangled in lies, coincidence, and improbable science that even seasoned detectives were stunned. From Yara's last walk from the gym to an arrest based on 18th century family records, this is a story that proves reality can be more bewildering than fiction. Her story became a national obsession and served as a case study in persistence, failure, and eventual justice. Background: the life of Yara Gambirasio. Yara was born on May 21, 1997, in Brembate di Sopra, a small town with a population of just 7,000. She was the second of 4 children and part of a deeply rooted local family. Known for her intelligence, discipline, and love of gymnastics, Yara was the kind of girl who lit up a room. She lived only a few minutes' walk from her sports center. Her life revolved around school, gymnastics, and family. Her dream was to become a rhythmic gymnastics coach. She was kind, reserved, and dependable. The kind of child every parent wishes for. But that bright future would be extinguished in an act of unimaginable cruelty. Yara was also known for her quiet strength. A young girl with big dreams, she embodied everything her community admired. Her strong moral compass, compassion, and youthful energy made the news of her disappearance even more devastating for the people who knew her. Timeline: the night of disappearance. On November 26, 2010, 13-year-old Yara told her parents she'd quickly stop by the gym to drop off a stereo. It was just a short walk away. She left home around 5:15 p.m. Surveillance confirmed her arrival. Friends saw her at the gym. She texted one friend at 6:44 p.m., a normal message. That was the last anyone heard from her. By 7 p.m., her mother tried calling, straight to voicemail. Concern turned to panic. Police were contacted, search dogs were deployed, and surveillance footage was reviewed. Yara's scent surprisingly led not toward her house, but toward another village, Mapello. A nearby cell phone tower had registered her device at 6:49 p.m. That meant she'd likely been taken by vehicle. The peaceful village was now gripped by fear. The disappearance sparked a flurry of public attention and volunteer efforts. Flyers were printed, neighborhoods canvassed, and media outlets scrambled to help locate the missing girl. But every hour that passed without answers only deepened the dread. The investigation: 15,000 suspects and a cold trail. Led by Detective Letizia Ruggeri, the investigation was enormous. Over 15,000 phone numbers were flagged for having connected to Mapello cell towers at the critical time. Surveillance tapes were cross-checked. Witnesses described a girl speaking to 2 men by a red car. A Moroccan man was briefly arrested after he said something suspicious in a phone call, but this turned out to be a tragic mistranslation. His blood-stained car mattress turned out to be from a butchered animal, not human blood. The suspect was innocent, and now the media was enraged. Police were back at square one. Canine units had no further leads. Every tip ended in disappointment. For 3 agonizing months, the case stood still. Public trust began to wane, and the frustration mounted. Ruggeri, however, remained committed and refused to close the case. Her persistence would become critical in the months ahead. Breakthrough: the gruesome discovery. On February 26, 2011, a model plane hobbyist stumbled upon something in a field while retrieving his aircraft. It was a pile of rags. Underneath it, a body. It was Yara. She was still wearing the same clothes from the night she vanished. Her remains were badly decomposed. Forensics confirmed she died from multiple stab wounds. No signs of sexual assault, but some clothing had been removed, implying possible sexual motivation. DNA evidence was recovered from her underwear. It did not match any known profiles, but this clue, the killer's DNA, would be the golden thread investigators refused to let go. The public mourning was massive. Candles, posters, and memorials appeared across the town. The discovery was heartbreaking, but finally it gave direction to a stalled investigation. The mass DNA hunt, a modern needle in a haystack. Detectives launched one of the largest DNA sweeps in Italian history. Thousands of samples were collected. Gym staff, neighbors, previous suspects. Weeks turned into months. Then a trace match, a man named Damiano. But he was ruled out. He had been abroad during the crime. However, his DNA partially matched the killer's. That meant the killer was a close relative. And so began the most elaborate family tree investigation ever seen in a European murder case. Ruggeri's team traced the lineage back centuries, uncovering a man named Giuseppe Guarinoni, dead since 1999. His preserved items allowed a DNA test. He was the killer's biological father. But none of his legal children matched the DNA. Giuseppe had an illegitimate child, but who? It was a breakthrough, but one that would require historical research and biological precision to solve. Secret family, hidden truth. Detectives dug deep into spa registries and guest records from the 1960s, identifying a woman named Esther Arzuffi as Giuseppe's possible lover. She had twins, a son and a daughter, born in 1970. Though married, the timeline fit. Investigators tested her son's DNA covertly via a sobriety checkpoint. It was a perfect match. Massimo Giuseppe Bossetti, a construction worker, father of 3, living quietly in Mapello, was arrested in June 2014, nearly 4 years after Yara's murder. Bossetti denied everything, but the evidence was damning. His carefully maintained normal life had hidden a brutal secret. The town was stunned that one of their own had been involved. Questions about how he evaded suspicion for years began to surface. Trial and outcome. A verdict for Yara Bossetti's DNA matched the sample found on Yara's clothing. Cell phone data placed him near the gym that night. His car, previously caught on camera, was confirmed to be at the scene. Fibers from his van matched those found on her body. He claimed innocence, that the DNA may have come from an old nosebleed or tools, that maybe another relative planted the evidence, but it was not enough. In July 2016, Bossetti was found guilty of Yara Gambirasio's murder and sentenced to life in prison. Appeals followed, but each upheld the original conviction. A shadow that still lingers. Questions that remain. Even after conviction, the case continues to trouble many. One bizarre detail: blood from a female gym instructor was found on Yara's jacket. Her behavior was suspicious. She had deleted texts and acted strangely, but she was never charged. Was it contamination or another angle never pursued? And what about the timeline gaps? The months-long cold trails, media attacks on detectives, the years of delay? The conviction stands, but a shadow of ambiguity remains. Legacy, a changed Italy. Yara's death shook Italy to its core. Her case sparked legal reforms around DNA collection, data analysis, and how police use surveillance in missing person cases. Forensic genealogy, then a rare method, became more widely accepted after this investigation. For her family, nothing can bring Yara back, but her name is now part of Italian legal and cultural memory, a symbol of perseverance, heartbreak, and determination. Viewers' reflection: what do you think? Was justice truly served? Could it have been prevented? Should cold cases always pursue family lineage to this extent? Was the evidence against Bossetti truly ironclad? Or was there room for doubt? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe investigators got it right? Or do you see this as another cautionary tale about circumstantial evidence? Yara Gambirasio's murder wasn't just a national tragedy, it was a human one. Her final walk home became a mystery that spanned years, tested science, and demanded emotional resilience from all involved. If this story moved you, like and share this video. Subscribe for more true crime documentaries that bring forward not just the events, but the lessons. Because sometimes the truth really is stranger than fiction. And sometimes fiction wishes it could capture the depth of what truly happened. Let's never forget Yara.